episode 496 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering, whether you are in the Northern Hemisphere enjoying some sick summer vibes or in the Southern Hemisphere where I am told it is winter, even though that continually blows my mind anytime I think about it.
Very weird.
Absolutely bonkers.
Wow. I'm sorry if you're having a winter right now.
I know.
But it's probably not that bad because you're in the Southern Hemisphere.
And also, I'll be jealous when we have winter and your
have summer.
Come around.
Yeah, exactly. I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's episode, we're going to do a lot of fun things. One of those fun things is telling you about all of the different ways there are to play Magic.
Yes. So we hear from people both just like personally all the time who are like, hey, I'm getting back into Magic or I want to get into Magic. What do you recommend? We know that there are lots of people who are newer listeners of the podcast and newer to the game when they start listening.
Yeah.
So we want to be like, hey, here's all the options, and like there's so many options in Magic that we could not possibly even cover them all, but we're already going to cover so many.
Yeah.
And there's already more than that out there.
We're also going to do a nice ranked list for you of the hottest cards in Magic.
It's called Oops, They're Hot, because why? Like none of them should be hot. It's kind of like, it's a weird feeling to like look at an illustrated character and be like, they're hot. Why?
We don't mean hottest like, ooh, buy these now. These cards are hot.
No, we mean that they're attractive and you're like, I feel weird about it, but they kind of are.
2 dimensions,
like they
but
just
I'm into
are.
it.
We've all dated someone 2-dimensional, am I right?
Absolutely. Mario, my first love. 2 dimensions. What could I do?
I was just making a burn on some of the personalities of people that I've dated.
I definitely dated Mario, but I'm happy for him. He has Peach. It's fine.
Quote,
they're perfect together.
Happy for him. Happy for him.
Yeah, so we're going to do that, which I think will be really fun because we found some real gems out there, everybody.
Man, there's more than you want to admit.
But before we kick off our episode, thank you, supporters of the show. You're so cool.
Yes.
I can't handle it.
Thank you so much to everyone who's a patron of the show over at patreon.com/GLHFmagic.
Yeah.
This is usually the part where we would read the names of new patrons, but because it is
I forgot how to read.
Fun time. Maria forgot how to read. We are pre-recording this episode, so we are still asking you, please, if you are not a patron, or if you are a patron and have a couple of spare bucks to throw our way, consider becoming a patron or upping your pledge just a little bit. We would love to have a big old stack of names to read when we come back to recording. Live recording, essentially, in August. So, consider it.
Yeah, August 2nd, we'll have our episode back on schedule, so we'll thank everybody then.
Think about it. We could say your name on August 2nd, or whatever silly thing you put into the bar.
Your username or whatever.
The little username bar on Patreon, because that's what it shows us, and that's what we will read.
So you can do that over on patreon.com/GLHFmagic. We'd love to have you part of our fan bam.
Yeah.
And it means so much to us because it is truly what makes us able to do this show is our patrons.
Very true.
Thank you.
100% true.
And please join if you haven't.
Unequivocally true. Yeah. I'm not just saying it's true because I'm like, it's sort of true. It's 100% true.
It's so true. We're also going to say a huge thank you to Card Kingdom. They've been our sponsor for a number of years. We love them. Their stores that if you head out to Seattle, you can actually go to one of their stores called Mock's Boarding House.
Have a great time.
They're fabulous.
Have a little mead.
Have some mead, play some games.
Yes.
Their stores are incredible. But if you can't do that, you can check them out on the intranet at cardkingdom.com/GLHF.
Yes.
They've got great deals.
Yeah, we're going to give you a couple of specific items today.
Great.
We'll talk about that are like Card Kingdom stuff that makes it easier to play the game.
Right, yeah. If you're one of the newer people who are a newer player listening to our show, you're going to want to listen out for that because Card Kingdom makes some great stuff to teach the game or to play if you're a newer player playing Magic, because Magic can be a little bit daunting sometimes, Not going to lie, it's a complicated game to learn. But there's a lot of stuff in there.
Real worth it.
But Card Kingdom makes it easy for you. If you want to buy singles, I always buy from Card Kingdom. I love them. They've got fast shipping, great customer service, and you can check them out, cardkingdom.com/GLHF. A demon just took me over. I'm fine.
All right, Maria, before we
Yes.
get started, we have a summertime treat that we must try.
We must try this treat.
Hopefully it goes better than the winter treat that we had to try. The cherry cordials.
That was
From
awful.
Little Debbie, which were truly heinous.
Gross.
Just absolutely
I don't know how can
nothing.
something can taste like nothing and also like a horrible childhood
It
in
was
one bite.
so bad.
It was
Absolutely, and it has a lot of things that conceptually I like, and it was terrible.
like if you took Pepto-Bismol and injected it, or like children's Tylenol,
Yes.
and you injected it into a cream, and then you
No, like
surrounded
the stalest Eclair
stalest
cream.
Eclair cream, surrounded it with a chewy chocolate that doesn't really, it tastes
No,
not like chocolate.
It doesn't even taste like
That's
chocolate.
that's been out in the sun for 2 to 3 weeks,
Yeah.
like on a porch, and you put that together and then you put that in your mouth. That was a cherry Eclair
But this is obviously not that.
or cordial. No,
This is the unicorn cake, sparkling strawberry flavor. You purchased these.
I did buy these. I couldn't help it. Look at it.
It's very cute. It's like it's like a lady finger.
The back of the box had a unicorn mask on it.
It's covered in white icing and
They
it
got
has
me.
like blue squiggly icing and purple sparkles on it.
All right,
Sprinkles.
let's go. Let's try this
So
summertime
it's
snack.
very cute.
We're not sponsored by Little Debbie, but she can call us whenever she wants.
She can call us whenever.
Hey Deb,
She
we're waiting
wants.
for your
Okay.
call. Okay,
Here we go. Oh, the cake is pink and the cream in the middle is purple.
purple. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's delightful. You know,
That is.
I like it.
I'm not exaggerating. 1,000 times better than cherry cordial.
It tastes like a zebra cake.
Mathematically. Yes, it's like a lightly strawberry. It's the
Lightly
faintest strawberry.
Faintest, like a strawberry
Yeah.
fainted, and it ended up in this bar. That's what that is. Mm-hmm. All right, that's way better
You know
than
what?
cherry cordial.
That's all right.
Thanks, Debbie.
If you're looking for a summertime stack,
I'm looking for a summertime stack. I play
Snack.
Magic the Gathering.
again, not sponsored, but hey,
Not bad.
it's all right.
Little Debbie, it's all right.
It's all right.
You know how we talked about the Charmin slogans a couple episodes ago? Little Debbie slogans over the years. What is their current slogan?
Wow, I don't know.
Little Debbie schlong is what I almost typed.
I don't want to see what comes up.
It's quote, Little Debbie has a snack for you. That's what it says.
That cannot be the slogan. That's so creepy.
That's what it is.
Little Debbie has a snack for you? Little Debbie's gonna murder you. Little Debbie is coming for you.
Little Debbie's got a
Little
snack for
Debbie
you.
has a snack for you.
And then murders you.
Like, tell me that isn't also the tagline of a Chucky film. Chucky has a snack for you.
I don't know if that's true or not, but that was the large text that came up on Google.
Wow.
This other website, sloganlist.com, says it's Unwrap a Smile, which seems much better.
It's not a great slogan. It's kind of weird, but also it's 100% better than Little Debbie has a snack for you, which is still boggling my mind.
That's what Chucky says before he kills somebody.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ways to play this game called Magic: the Gathering. No colon anymore, everybody, officially.
Wow.
Did you know that? They dropped
I do remember when they did that, actually.
like my great uncle Barry, they dropped the colon long ago. It was a few years ago, but I still see everybody using it. I mean, habits die hard, you know?
Yeah.
But there's officially no colon in Magic the Gathering.
That's not what I would say to be the case when there's a bunch of Magic players in a room together. Anyways.
Ways to play.
Ways to play. So we're going to kick it off with playing at your local game store, which is one way that a ton of people play.
Yeah, this is the classic way.
Classic way to play. The thing is...
Not the most popular way, I'll say that.
No.
But
very classic, though.
Classic.
Obviously, one thing that leaps to mind when you think of your local game store, your LGS, is FNM or Friday Night Magic.
Yes.
This is like the big banner event for most stores. It'll usually be a pretty classic format, like standard.
I thought you were going to
for a lot
say
of them.
it will usually be on a Friday night.
It'll usually Friday Night Magic usually
It's in the
on
name.
a Friday night.
Friday Night Magic has a snack for you.
It's usually gonna be something like standard, right? Like a format that is competitive.
Yeah.
It might be something like Pioneer or Modern, depending on the store, but a lot of times it's going to be like a staple format, like one of those.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty low cost. There'll be some fun prizes. It's a good way to go and play and have a fun competitive time without feeling like it's cutthroat.
Yeah. And some stores will even run multiple different kinds of formats for Friday Night Magic too. Like there might be a draft going on in one corner, and then people are playing Modern in another part of the store.
Yeah. Some stores will have like an earlier one and then like a later one if you're a real night owl.
Yeah. And I like Friday Night Magic because it's just so iconic. Like if you go to a game store, what are they doing on Friday night?
There will be people
Magic
there playing Magic.
will be happening.
Yeah. Obviously, we talk about this one all the time, but pre-release events are a big one for local game stores.
Yes.
Pre-releases, you can see we have a bunch of videos on our channel about them.
Yeah.
We have vlogs where you can see us going to pre-releases. I think we even have a video about like what to expect at a pre-release.
Probably. Yeah, I think we've done that before.
But it's just an especially fun time for new players because everyone's learning what these cards do. It's much chiller.
Yeah, it's a chill environment. Nobody expects you to be cutthroat at a pre-release.
No.
Nobody knows what these cards are doing.
It's just we want to play the new format, have a good time.
I think if you are going to a pre-release, you should have a knowledge of how Magic works. So you should know how to play a game and have a basic understanding of what the cards do and how turns work and that kind of thing. And once you're at that level, I would say you could feel comfortable enough to go to your pre-release.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go in totally blind. People will help you out if that happens.
Yes.
But there's a lot to learn before you get to that.
Yeah.
Like you've got
And
to play
so,
your
like, yeah.
land. You have to tap it for mana, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That being said, there are like, don't think that you can only go and play Magic at your LGS on Friday night or a pre-release because most local game stores have like a whole slate of events across the whole week.
Absolutely.
They'll have like modern Mondays or something like that. Maybe they'll have Pioneer on a night of the week. And those things are usually
Try Hard Tuesdays.
Weak Wednesdays.
Bring your weakest deck.
They're usually tailored to what the people in the area play or the people who come to that game store play. So if they're like, hey, we know that we have a lot of people who play Modern, they'll definitely have a Modern night or some kind of Modern event during the week.
I'm going to give an example as the local game store we play at quite often, which is Lodestone Coffee and Games in Minnetonka, Minnesota. For example, on Monday at 4 p.m., they have Open Play Commander.
There you go.
At 6 p.m., they have a $100 Pioneer.
Wow.
Which you can go and win $100. On Tuesday, you can win $100 playing Modern. On Wednesday, Open Play Commander, 6 p.m. Draft. Thursdays are D&D night, so no Magic there. Friday, F&M Draft, F&M Modern. Saturday, Sealed. And Sunday, Open Play Commander.
Wow.
Almost every single day of the week.
Yeah. Like one of the biggest things that we did regularly when we were starting to play was going to draft night.
Draft night.
Great night.
Love draft night.
You gotta love a draft night.
Love draft night.
So like, yeah, just for, as you can tell from like that slate of options.
Yes.
No matter what you want to play, you can play, like a lot of them will have Open Play Commander. So if you don't have a dedicated commander group, you can go and meet people.
Totally.
And then maybe you end up playing with them outside of those store hours also.
And you know, if I know one thing about Commander players, it's that they come to the store with more than one deck.
Yes. It is also true. You could very likely show up to a commander,
nothing in hand,
open play, and be like, I would really love to play with y'all's pod, but I don't have a deck. And someone's going to be like, I have a deck.
Yes.
That you can play.
10 people will be like, which one do you want to play?
Yes.
I have all of them because they're so proud of their beautiful works of art, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, once you advance on at your local game store and you're playing more competitively, now with the new play system, we have regional championship qualifiers run out of local game stores.
Which will be a real good time.
Those lead on up to regional championships and eventually the Pro Tour and eventually Worlds.
Yeah, we had a good time traveling to some of those too back in the day.
So fun.
A really fun time to like see people that you've gotten to know at your LGS.
So check with your LGS as to when they're doing those or any of these events if that is appealing to you. We're blessed here in Minneapolis with like 1,010,000 game stores.
1,010,000
to choose from. 1,010,000. And like they have all got different vibes.
Yeah.
So if one doesn't jive with you, go check out another one. Hopefully you have multiples in your area.
Yeah.
And
make sure you pick a store where you jive with the vibe.
Jive with the vibe of the store, you know?
Yeah.
And check out their events they've got going on. There's so much happening.
Yeah. Next up, the most popular way to play
The
Magic.
number one way.
Hanging out at home.
Playing at the kitchen
Playing
table.
at the kitchen table, which brings me to the first, the easiest way to just play it. I call it the kitchen sink. Just throw whatever you got in there.
Absolutely.
Just throw whatever you got into a deck and play your friend.
Yep.
Whatever. Who cares?
That is probably, honestly, the number one way people play Magic. They're like, I have
Yes.
these cards. I put the 60 of them.
Into
They
a deck?
may not even know that.
Great.
I put 120 of them, and
Into a
I'm
deck?
playing my friend.
Here they are.
Let's go.
If that feels daunting to you, if you're like, hey, I'm not a person who just has a collection of Magic cards hanging around, totally fair. This is where we were talking about Card Kingdom earlier.
Yeah.
They have some great ways to get into Magic, playing specifically this kind of
Fantastic.
format.
Yeah.
Which they have these things called battle decks.
I'm going to look them up right
Which
now.
they each have like a little theme. They're only $10 each. They have literally a list of like 100.
A lot of them right now are out of stock, but a lot of them are also in stock.
If you
so
just keep scrolling down the
you'll
list,
find more, yeah.
you'll see some that are out of stock, but they have tons that are in stock. Literally 50 results here.
Look at this battle deck. Light Brigade. What's more powerful than an army of one? An army of one drops. That's very cool.
Very cute. Battle deck Control Tower. If you want to cast a spell, ask me first and I'll decide.
There you go. There's Megan's.
Great. So there's and at $10, you can order you could order a few of these
Just to have on hand.
just to have and try all these different strategies out.
Yeah, they're super
So that
cool.
is a super easy way to be like, if I don't have a collection to just throw my own deck together, head on over there. Get one of those. Also, Wizards of the Coast makes challenger decks.
Yep.
Each year, which are standard playable. Slightly
Pre-made.
Pre-made, slightly lower powered, but still in a competitive strategy.
Yeah.
So if you're like, hey, I want something a little bit more serious, even just for playing at the kitchen table, you're like, hey, I am just playing at home, but I like to make sure that we're really duking it out here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Challenger
you can get
decks.
some challenger decks. They're going to be good. They're going to have a really strong power level. They're also cost effective and affordable.
Totally. I'm looking at Card Kingdom Selection now. They also have this thing called the Pioneer Chaos Draft Bundle.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
So cool.
Because they have so many things that you can do. So I wanted,
All right.
other things that you can play at home. Sealed, which is where you each crack open 6 packs.
6 packs.
If you want to do
6 packs, not just for these abs anymore.
6
Am I
packs,
right?
you can have all of the if you buy a booster box,
Yep.
you and your friend can just each crack 6 packs. We've even just done silly stuff like half box sealed.
Half box sealed.
Right? Crack, honestly, as many packs as you each want and make a deck out of them.
I knew some degenerates who would make a sealed 40 card deck out of an entire box.
Like what?
And I was like,
Unbelievable. It can just be incredibly, incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Chaos sealed, which is where those packs don't even have to be
Don't
all
have to
from the same
match.
set.
Yeah.
If you and your friend just have a bunch of loose boosters, talk to your doctor
loose
about that.
loosters.
Loose boosters all around. Just you each take 6 packs of whatever.
Yes, 100%. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. They do chaos sealed events on Magic's official platforms,
Exactly. Like you were saying, Card Kingdom even has stuff like Pioneer Chaos Draft Bundle, which is a box that you can buy of a bunch of Pioneer legal sets that you can chaos draft with your friends.
That's so cool.
They have a standard Chaos Draft Bundle,
I love that.
right? Just tons and tons of ways that you can play at home.
We've do you want to talk about Winston Draft?
Yeah, so Winston Draft is a really cool way to draft. So when I say at home, I'm also specifically talking about if you just have 2 people.
Yeah, 2 people.
2 people. Winston Draft is a way that you can draft with 2 people. You each crack open your 3 packs, and then you shuffle them all together.
Yep.
So you have a stack of 90 cards. And then the way it works is that there's 3 piles, and they each begin with 1 card in them. And there's a first, second, and third pile.
Yeah.
And when it's your turn to draft, you can look at the card in the first pile, and you can either take it or choose to not take it.
Yep.
If you don't take it, you put it back down face down, and then you take a card from the stack and put it face down without looking at it on top, so that there's now 2 cards in the pile. You do the same thing with the second pile, the second stack. You can either take, you look at it, you can take it, or if you don't take it, put a new card on top of it. Or same thing. Third one, you look at it, either you take it or you don't. If you don't take the third one, you just random draw off the top, like blind draw off the top of the deck. And so it's really cool, right? And so then you're increasing, like next time, maybe if no one's taken the first pile, there's like 3 or 4 cards
then you
in
get
it.
more cards.
So yeah, that's Winston Draft. It's a really and you just do that back and forth. It's a really cool draft format, and it's a great way to draft. Again, only 2 people.
Only 2 people.
You don't have to. You don't have to have more people to draft. You can draft just 2.
Just 2. Yeah.
And
so
that
ways.
also works. Any 6 boosters you've got.
Yeah, it
right?
doesn't matter.
It's a collective card pool between the 2 of you that you're drafting.
Just have fun, okay?
Just do whatever you want.
You're at the kitchen table. It's maybe it's like your grandma's table and it's got like those 70s flowers on it and it's kind of yellow.
Great.
That's what I'm imagining.
Perfect.
For your
so
table.
whatever deck you want to build, like kitchen sink style, a pre-constructed deck, a Winston Draft, or just sealed or chaos sealed.
Absolutely.
Great ways to play at home. All right. What about your friend group?
What about them?
Which
what
could
have
also
you,
be
what have you heard?
playing at home. Maria, I have to talk to you about your friend group.
I was at the gas station.
What?
It's my alibi.
Interesting.
For whatever happened.
I'm writing that down. Commander, obviously, this is one of the biggest ways to play also.
Yes.
With your friend group. If you're intimidated, maybe if you know people who play Commander, they will make you a Commander deck.
Yeah, you don't even have to
there's
borrow
one thing
one.
that we can say about Commander players. They will
They'll
get
just
you to
make
play
it
Commander.
for you.
If you're on the verge and they can push you over into playing Commander, they will do it.
Push you over the ledge into Commander
Yes.
Town.
You can also just order pre-con decks. Wizards of the Coast has pre-con decks with each set that comes out.
Absolutely.
And places like Card Kingdom also have pre-constructed decks that they've made.
Yeah, super, super convenient.
So Commander, if you know people that play Commander and you're scared of getting into it, literally ask one of them to help you because they would love to, or get one of those pre-con decks. You're ready to go.
And you can make any kind of deck that, kind of shows off who you are as a Magic player and fits the play style that you feel the most joy playing with Magic, which is another great thing about Commander is each deck can have its own like neat little identity that you have when you play it.
In the same vein, Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
We love Oathbreaker. It is similar to Commander in that it is multiplayer. And that you have an Oathbreaker, which is specifically a planeswalker that lives in the command zone, and a signature spell that's also in the command zone.
Yes.
You can learn more about it over at oathbreaker.com. It's just a really good time.
Yeah, it's a faster version of Commander.
Faster. So again, if you're intimidated by Commander, play Oathbreaker. You can donate $100 to Magic Kids.
Yep.
Which is a great organization that also started the Oathbreaker format, and they still have some starter decks available. They'll mail you 4 if you donate $100.
Nice.
So you can get everything you need to play it.
We talked about some new Oathbreakers 2 episodes ago as well on episode 494 with Judge Rob.
Yeah.
So if you're like, ooh, what are some new Planeswalkers that came out that I could use for my Oathbreakers? Go check that episode out because he's got some great recommendations.
Absolutely. Another big one, if you're like, hey, I don't want to just play Commander, or I don't have a Commander deck, or like us, you're like, shuffling 100 cards is hard.
We have tiny hands.
Or you're like, hey, I love drafting, but I don't want to have to go to my store to draft all the time.
Yeah.
There's Cube.
There
is a format called Cube Draft. It is amazing. It is a set of cards, and there's literally an endless number of ways that you can construct a cube.
Why do you think it's called Cube?
Everyone, I don't know, because you keep it in a cube. You store it in one
cube shaped
That's what I think.
box.
That's what
that must be what it is. It's just kind of funny.
So Cube is like, and then from that set, you'll form little 15 card boosters.
Yep.
Essentially. And again, it's easiest to play Cube if you know someone who already owns one. Like, that's very honestly just the truth.
Yeah.
If someone invites you to play Cube, go do it.
Do it.
It's a great time. But also, if you don't know anyone and you're like, hey, this sounds like a way that I want to play, it is easily accessible to my friends who don't have Commander decks because we'll just all draft.
Yeah.
It's accessible to my friends who prefer draft. It's just a way to mix up the way that I'm playing. Card Kingdom is currently sold out of the starter cube that they created a little while back, which was only $100 for a full starter cube.
That's cool.
But They also do have their current cube lists available, which is a 360 card legacy cube. And again, this came in at $100 for the full set. And so even if you went through and individually just bought one of each of these cards in here, it's not going to be super expensive, which is also the point of Pauper Cube.
Yes, Pauper Cube's great.
Yes, which is another type of like super fun cube format that is focused also on affordability. There's a whole, you can go to thepaupercube.com and read all about it. So those are some nice, like those are two good starter cubes that aren't going to like break the bank for you, but are still going to be able to make it so that you and your group can play some cube.
And if you're a limited fan, like Megan said, this is an awesome way to continue your limited experience without having to go to the game store to play, without firing up Arena or Magic Online, just playing with your preferred group of people and playing in formats that you've loved from the past, recreated in cube form. Like, oh, you're like, oh man, I love Morph. Well, guess what? You can put a Morph deck into your cube, right? To make sure that that's an option when people are drafting it. Mono green ramp, that's in the cube. I get to draft a Craterhoof Behemoth. That's great.
Amazing. You know? Also, if you love drafting, you don't even need a cube to draft. Like, you can just draft at home with your friends.
Yeah, totally.
We used to have friend draft at the start of each new set.
Friend draft.
Which is so fun. You just need a box of draft boosters. And 6 to 8 people.
Yeah, if you have 6 people, you can do something called team drafting, where you've got 3 people per team, every other person around the draft table. Yeah. Then you can build your decks together and you just keep track of your record of who beats who, you know?
Exactly.
And then there's a winning team at the end.
Very fun. And then that way, maybe your draft night doesn't work out for you with your local game store. Like, that's not the right night to play for you.
You can't find 8. You can play a team draft.
Exactly. Go get a team draft or get a draft together in your friend group. Great way to play.
Totally. And then, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention our digital ways to play Magic.
Yes. Digital ways to play are just, in my opinion, they're great because they get around the fact that sometimes your schedule is just too busy.
Yeah.
Like, they're good accessibility for people who are just like, maybe your local game store is just too far away. You don't have good transit available to you to get there. Your schedule is just like, hey, I can't carve out a full evening to go to my LGS, but I can carve out an hour of my night.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of new parents talking about how much they're grateful for something like Arena.
Yeah.
Because they can get it in while their baby isn't screaming. You know?
Yeah.
And it's just so simple and straightforward to be able to fire that thing up, do a draft, you know?
Yes. Yep.
Maybe too simple.
And like it will, yeah. You can download Arena and it will walk you through it. You can play Arena knowing nothing about Magic, and it will help
teach you how to play.
Kickstart your journey into it.
Yes.
We've also you can listen to an episode that we did a little while back. With our friend Tyler, who talks about playing it affordably.
Yeah, how to play. He plays for free on Arena, and it is possible. You do have to draft. So I will say you have to like draft and be moderately good at it. But once you've achieved those two things, you can play for free on Arena. It is possible. People don't think it is. It is.
But you can also just play a bunch of brawl queues or something like that.
For sure.
That's more your jam.
I know a friend, another guy named Tyler, who learned how to play Magic entirely on Arena.
Wow.
Not even in paper. Yeah. Can you believe that? What a world we live in.
What a world.
Yeah. It's just like, this is the future. 2022. Welcome.
And if you prefer the past, there's Magic Online.
Yeah, Magic Online exists still, everybody.
Yes.
It's about to be, or has it been already given over to another game studio to develop?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it's going to leave Wizards of the Coast control, and another game studio is going to take it over. Yeah. Don't know if that's already happened or not. But Magic Online is great if you're somebody who played, way back in the day, and you want to recreate that experience, because you can play legacy formats on Magic Online.
They also have some sets like Double Masters, which they are not able to bring to Arena because of the breadth of the card pool that would be new to the set. But they are on Magic Online because all those cards are already in there because they're all reprints.
So it's not as immersive an experience, a user experience as Arena is, obviously.
Yeah.
But it does still work. It is faithful to how Magic works in real life. Every card exists on there almost that's ever been made for Magic. You can play Vintage. You can play Legacy. You can play tons of competitive events on Magic Online. The player caliber there is generally higher than Arena because the people who play that are like super serious, capital S, capital S. And anyway, but there's lots of fun competitive stuff on there. And like, if you're like, I love Double Masters, it's a limited environment I'm into, you can play it on Magic Online, can't play it on Arena.
Nice.
So yeah.
So that's just like a quick hot primer.
Quick
on
hot
all
primer.
Of the different.
On all the different ways.
On all the different ways that you can play Magic. If there's a way that you love playing that we haven't mentioned, tweet it at us at GLHF Magic. And let us know what is a favorite way that you love to play.
I just want to tweet at Jif and be like, we have a new slogan for you. It's called All the Different Ways to Make a Sandwich. And it's a whole bunch of...
Hashtag be different.
Yeah, be different.
You're welcome, Jif Peanut Butter, for that groundbreaking campaign.
Be different.
It absolutely sounds like the campaign that they would use for like Pride or something.
Yes, it does.
Hashtag be
different.
Be different while they temporarily change their background to a rainbow flag.
It's time for a new segment on Good Luck High Five called Oops, They're Hot.
That's right. These are cards that okay. There have been cards in Magic's past that people were just like, this card is obviously about being hot.
Yeah, for sure.
Enthralling Victor comes to mind. This art is primarily about being hot.
Yeah, this card's whole purpose is to be hot. Enthralling Victor, the name of the card alone is like, hello, I'm Wizards of the Coast. I know what I'm doing. If you've never seen the art, it's a man with 10 abs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose it's 6. But wearing the most clothing he's wearing is like a strip across his chest, a leather strip that's holding on his cape, and his pants, which are below the vicious V. As he's riding, I don't know if he's on a chariot or what he's doing, into battle with his long flowing hair. Yeah. Like, don't tell me you didn't know what you were doing, Wizards of the Coast.
Exactly.
You knew.
That card is about being hot.
Yep.
Kiora, the Tide's Fury, about being hot.
We would be remiss not to mention Kiora, the Tide's Fury. When she came out, when this art debuted, Kiora is here with her trident and many tentacled octopus or whatever behind her. Yeah. And she looks like she wants to step on your throat.
Which, as people have pointed out, is kind of the vibe of Magali's Planeswalkers.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like that's
they want
kind
to
of
step on you.
They're gonna step. But this segment is not about the cards that are about being hot.
No.
This is about the cards that you're just like looking at some Magic art and then you're just like, wait, oops, they're hot.
One other one that I want to mention from the past. There's a few.
This one is like an obvious.
Yeah,
hot.
there's a few from the past that we're not going to bring up here because they're super obvious thirst traps. And this is just, I think, the most egregious of all of them, which is Fire Elemental.
Absolutely egregious. Just like a Shelter, the other one that comes to mind.
Yeah, Shelter.
Right. You're just like, no, those cards were about being hot.
So Fire Elemental, if you've never seen this card, this is from limited edition alpha situation.
This was not what I was expecting to look at when you did this, and why?
I mean, it's a woman made of fire, a naked woman made of fire. That's all I can.
End.
That's the way I can explain it. Yep.
So yeah.
Just getting that out of the way.
So, also, I think Oko
qualifies.
I think the point of Oko is being hot.
Yes, I agree.
So Oko is like outside the realm of oops, they're hot. This is you were going for it. You were trying to be hot.
And we've talked about this on the show before. Don't pander to me, Wizards of the Coast.
Don't pander. We're not talking about the cards that pander. Okay, the card that made me think of this.
Yeah, this segment's Megan's idea, by the way.
The card that made that's because the card that made me think of this was that I was just like playing Arena and someone played Tenacious Underdog and I was like, oops, that card is hot. It's like hotter than I thought it was when I don't think of Tenacious Underdog as being like a hot card, but then I looked at the art and I was like, oops, they are hot.
Oops,
they're hot.
Oops, they're hot. Tenacious Underdog, once again, 10 abs. leaning against a boxing ring with hands, bundled for boxing, but brass knuckles hanging from the waistband.
Yeah. But mostly I feel like it's just kind of like the hair vibe of
the
this
hair vibe
tenacious
is
underdog.
very like, yes, I'm hot.
Exactly.
And they know it.
They're like, and their face has got a vibe that's like, yes, I know I'm hot.
Tenacious underdog knows it.
Yes. Oops, they're hot. Not a card
Oops.
you think of as being hot, but they're hot.
This one is my number one all time. You've heard me talk about it on the show before if you're a longtime listener, which is Dak Faden.
Because Dak Faden doesn't look like they went in being like, I'm going to make someone hot. But then you look at Dak and you're like, oops, he's hot.
Dak is hot. I love Dak. Dak is my magic boyfriend. I have a real thing for guys with long hair. That's been well known my entire existence on planet Earth. And also Dak, I like it because he's a thief, He's got a little bad boy to him.
All right. I'm just, strictly our... Oops, he's hot.
Oops, he's hot, Dak Faden.
You added this one. It's, excellent. Excellent. This is exactly the vibe that we're going for.
Yep.
Which is the alternate art to crew captain.
Crew captain, alt art. Oops, she's hot.
She's hot.
This card, I've got to,
like what? She's just, it looks like they were like, give us like a very strong woman who's just kind of like over it work-wise, and she's holding like a big steel beam, and they're like, the artist was like, what if also she hot?
Yeah, I think that this, I said don't pander to us, but I feel like this is a little pandery. I feel like they had to know what they were doing here with crew captain.
Rhonda, you knew.
Thank you, Rhonda Libby.
Oops, she's hot.
Crew captain is hot.
Yeah.
It's also just a great piece of art.
Yes. This card is right on the border of oops, she's hot, but all like meant to be. Siona, captain of the Pyleas.
Hello.
Which is,
This is a Wonder Woman situation.
Yeah, Theros Beyond Death is the set that this is from.
Yep, it looks like a shot from Wonder Woman, honestly.
It really does. She just absolutely looks like she is straight out of the film.
So she's wearing armor, and has a group of soldiers behind her, getting ready to go into battle, just striding towards the camera confidently.
Exactly. It's the confidence here.
The confidence, everybody.
Like, it looks like maybe Chris just went into this being like, I'm showing a powerful warrior.
Yeah.
But also, oops, she's hot.
Oh, God, it's so good. I must have a thing for blue-red planeswalkers.
Wow, you apparently do, because this one you added, Ral, Caller of Storms.
Absolutely.
It looks like they were just trying to, go, like, maybe Kieran was just told, hey, show, like, a very confident, like, very cocky.
Lightning man.
But also, oops, he's hot.
Oops, he's hot. Ral's got a boyfriend, Tomek, everybody.
A husband.
Yeah, you're right. They're married.
They're married now.
In the Pride Secret Lair.
Yes.
Art. Ral, Caller of Storms, specifically, is, if we didn't say which one, that one. Oops, hot.
Oops, he's hot.
This one is just like...
Okay. Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. You were told, just show us someone who is powerful and exceptionally bored.
And sitting in a chair.
Powerful, bored, sitting in a chair. Oops, she's hot.
Oops, hot. I mean, it doesn't like take away that the entire front of her shirt is cut out.
Yeah, okay. Also, like, yes. But I feel like even if that weren't the case.
Correct. No, she's got the vibe.
She's hot.
She's got the vibe. Look at this.
Yes.
Confidence, everybody. Exactly. We've said it so many times. We've cracked the hot code. It's confidence. Yes. Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. Get out of here.
Teysa, Envoy of Ghosts. Oops. She's hot.
Now, we can't have this list without mentioning a very famous planeswalker.
Yes, which is, of course, Liliana. Many iterations of Liliana that were perhaps intended to be hot.
Yeah, Liliana of the Veil, I think, is the easy choice.
But let's talk about the Liliana that was supposed to just be all business. Oops. Professor Onyx is hot.
Oops, Professor Onyx. I remember when they printed this card, I was like, what? Excuse me. There she is, ready to give you a bad grade.
Yes.
In whatever class you're taking at Strixhaven.
You are taking.
Professor Onyx, we would argue in a court of law, is the hottest Liliana.
Yes.
Put me before the Supreme Court. Those jerks. No. Even they can't deny this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll vote 6-3. It was Liliana of the Veil. great.
Next up, Ingenious Smith from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh yeah.
You were told to make like just a very strong blacksmith. Oops, she's hot.
She's got goggles on her head. I was like, what is that up there? That's goggles.
It's goggles. Like she's ripped.
Yep. Has a hammer.
She's just straight up ripped, and she's forging a sword. She has a great bun. Oops.
Look, Kiora will step on your throat. Ingenious Smith will smash you in the face.
Yes, exactly. We'll stab you with this sword, with this red hot sword.
Blacksmithing, just a hot job, honestly.
Exactly. That card is part of it is that Ingenious Smith has a hot job.
I mean, hot job. Blacksmithing, honestly.
Okay. Tiger Tribe Hunter, also from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. You're told to show a warrior with their tiger.
A barbarian.
A barbarian, you're right. A barbarian with their tiger. Why? But she's hot. Look at that hair. Look at that hair.
I'm like this.
That hair is like, shampoo model hair.
That's shampoo model hair, wearing a pelt, but also only like a tube top bra.
I think it's like, I can't tell what's going on. It's like tight, skin tight leather.
Yeah, skin tight leather bra and a pelt of some description with shampoo model hair.
Shampoo model hair. Why did you have to make this card hot?
There was no need for it.
You didn't have to do it.
But here we are.
All right.
I could not put this on the list.
All right, Maria, you're alone. This isn't my jam, but
Soren the Mirthless. Get in here.
Wow.
This is the best Soren they've done.
Yeah, it is the best Soren.
The other ones I'm like, no. But this Soren I'm like, all right.
It's because he's so mopey. You like the mope.
He's such a mopey boy.
Yeah.
A mopey sad boy.
But somehow they did make a version of mopey where
they made that was the best Soren.
Oops, he's hot.
Yeah. As we were going through these cards looking for this segment, I stumbled across a card that I had never seen before.
It's so cute.
This is not a hot card. This is a cute card.
Yeah.
Have you all seen the card Cultural Exchange?
I had never heard of this card in my life.
Never heard of it. It's from Odyssey. It's 4 blue for a rare. Choose any number of creatures target player controls. Choose the same number of creatures another target player controls. Those players exchange control of those creatures.
Great.
This effect lasts indefinitely.
Yes.
That's in the Oracle text. And it's like, what would you call these? A raccoon had a baby with one of those little sand rabbits, mice
I don't
with the
know.
big ears.
Yeah, the big ears, but they're also like lightly jackalope.
They're so cute.
Because they have like little horns and big ears.
Oh, they do have little horns. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're very cute.
Everybody, I just had to tell you that as the cute card ambassador.
They're doing a cultural exchange with the crocodiles.
I don't know what's happening.
I think that is
art.
what it looks like. Is like the little weasels are having a cultural exchange with the crocodiles.
These little weaselly dudes are having a cultural exchange. They're like, hey, do you want to? In our culture, we brush our tails every morning with a special brush. Do you want to check it out? And the crocodile's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. I would love to look at your special tail brush.
In my culture, we eat you. Cultural exchange.
Cultural exchange.
I'm pretty sure that's the joke. But anyway, if you want to go look at a cute card, go look at cultural exchange. Do you have a card that you think is oops, they're hot?
Oops, they're hot.
We'd love to hear about it.
Tweet at us at GLHFMagic, hashtag
oops, they're hot.
Or hashtag be different. All right, everyone. Ultra Pro has long given you ways to store your Magic decks.
Yes.
But they realize that, of course, most Magic players face an entirely different problem, which is, what do I do with my whole stinking collection?
Oh, yeah.
Because collections are enormous. They have, this one that we have here is the Ultra Pro Storage 3-drawer organizer.
Yeah.
It holds 1,000 cards.
Wow.
Just in this little buddy right here. Look
that
at
one
this.
box has 1,000
right?
cards.
Not even that many. There's like a little spot, like each of the pull-out trays has a spot in the front where you can put a little display card to talk about what is inside.
Oh, I love that.
Right? Yeah,
so you know
which spot right here.
In which drawer each thing is.
Like you could do it by color, you could do it by
set.
rarity, you could do it by set. Whatever you need to do, you can mark it on the front. There's additional dividers. There's 9 dividers also inside, 3 in each one to further divide inside. They are stackable.
Yep.
So that you can like you can literally buy, if you're like, hey, I have way more than 1,000 cards, buy multiples and they stack up.
Yeah, this is so nice. I know.
They're built to fit specifically inside IKEA's cube shelves too.
Yes.
That is the width of one.
I love that because
Yeah.
everybody's got those cube shelves.
Exactly.
I do. And if I've just seen Magic players like going on like Craigslist hoping that one day a card catalog will come
Yes.
for sale, and they're usually extremely expensive.
Very expensive, enormous, so heavy,
Yeah.
impossible to move.
But this is
You can
great.
just order this sucker from Ultra Pro.
Wow, this is really, really cool.
It's it's just so cool. I feel like it highlights that what Ultra Pro is always doing, which is thinking about what do players actually need
right,
from us.
exactly.
For their collections, for their Magic experience. And they're like, oh, hey, do you know what people actually need?
To organize.
Is for storage for their literally
Yes.
tons of cards in their Magic collection. I don't even love to keep a ton of Magic cards, but even I have so many cards on me.
you just end up with them
You
no
just
matter what.
end up with them. Ultra Pro storage.
Yeah. Check it
I'm
out.
So about this. What a cool idea.
If you want to get any of these, you can check them out on their website, and you can use the code GLHF for 5% off
Yes.
of anything you want to get on Ultra Pro. Even if you go to their sales section, you can still put GLHF in there. You get an
Yes.
additional 5% off, everybody. So use our code, get your stuff organized. Your life will thank you.
Slaps the roof of the car. You know how many bad boys I can fit in this thing?
1,000. It's 1,000.
1,000. It's 1,000.
Well, human beings, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. Wow. What a time. And next week, we're back live.
We're back live.
You're listening to this now, but we recorded this in the past.
Yeah, it's
So
time
it's
travel.
going to be kind of wild to us.
Time travel.
You're time traveling.
Yes.
Oh, man.
We're all time traveling.
Okay, Maria, can I ask you a question?
No, just kidding.
Fair enough. I'll shut up.
Is it about time travel? I'm so excited.
It's adjacent.
Adjacent?
Do you
Okay.
think that there are aliens?
Yes.
Great. I've been thinking about it recently. I realized that I had never really sat down and asked myself the question.
Oh.
Do I think that there are aliens out there?
What is your answer?
Because I feel like if I casually am like, are there aliens? My brain would be like, I don't no. I don't believe in area whatever it
51.
is. Area 51. I don't know. I don't think that UFOs are really a thing. But I do think that there is other life out in the universe.
Well, another question is like, do you believe in intelligent life other than humans?
I think
which you
so.
could argue.
Yeah.
Do you believe in intelligent life out there in the universe?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
because I think it's easy to be like, oh, I'm sure there's a mitochondria swimming around somewhere on Venus or whatever.
Yeah. No. I think that there is other intelligent life
Yeah.
out there in the universe. Yeah. That was all. That was my question.
I listened to a podcast recently where they were talking about the UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, captured by the Navy, etc. And this was not just any podcast, everybody. This was the Ezra Klein show, okay? So come on. But I had a guest who was talking about them and who had done a bunch of research about it and was like, you know what? Whatever these things are captured on camera, there is no government that exists on Earth that could possibly have this technology. It's about 15 years advanced from ours, and it's just not possible. So their conclusion was that it was some kind of quote unquote alien life,
Yeah.
but something that had lived on Earth like for a long time, just been here, right? But we had never actually noticed because we hadn't been flying around in jets up in the air,
Yeah.
videotaping stuff for that long.
Wow.
And so they just been here hanging out, doing their own thing, existing, like how I don't know, where I
Yeah.
don't know, but
I think one of my favorite personal theories of possible alien life and why we don't have like quote unquote confirmation of it
yeah,
is the one that it's like alien life is to us as a person is to an ant.
yes, exactly.
Like we could be literally looking at it and our brains just like don't see it.
Yep, I'm an ant. Look at me
Exactly.
carrying my piece of
I'm just-
cheese
I'm just down here doing my ant
from
stuff.
this picnic.
And while there's like the alien equivalent of like people just out there
Yes.
around us doing their thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I think
totally.
that one feels to me like the most like it feels very, very possible. And also it's very cool to consider. Like maybe someday we could understand it, but there's literally something around us that we don't understand.
Yeah.
Which is true constantly, but
There was a physicist that I listened to from, I don't know which university, sorry, who was talking about the fact that she was like, how on earth are we supposed to like think to ourselves that we could possibly comprehend the entire universe and everything that it is or could be or whatever with
you
our
can't.
tiny pea brains?
Yes.
Our brains are so small and dumb, everybody. And she's just like, I mean, they're miracles, whatever, but also they're small and dumb.
They're mostly just bad impulses.
And she's like, how could we think that, we will understand this? And so the metaphors that we make through religion, through belief systems, whatever, to explain other things that we don't know about the universe or how we came to be or whatever, or maybe the closest we're ever going to get to truly like thinking about the fact that we know everything out there.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool that a scientist said that. Like maybe this religion in India, the way, that was hers, that she's like, this is what I ascribe to. And it's kind of like the Great Link, like we're all connected, right? Yeah. Everything in the universe is connected to each other intrinsically. And we don't yet know like how to explain that scientifically or if it's even true or whatever. But she was like, I like that metaphor of thinking about it yet. Well, we don't comprehend stuff like that, but we can comprehend it on that level.
Yeah.
And I thought that was neat to have a scientist say something all woo-woo like that.
Yeah.
Or we're just a game of Sims being played by the aliens in Men in Black.
I hope so. I hope they're having a good time.
Anyway, this has been our
We're
side
not.
our side podcast.
Side podcast. Are there aliens?
Are there aliens? Thank you so much to everyone who supports us on patreon.com/GLHFmagic, Card Kingdom, Ultra Pro, all of our awesome friends out there keeping this show and all of our alien talk coming out every single week.
Yes.
We're creeping up on 500 episodes.
Ooh, it's going to be a big party.
Be a banger of a party, everybody.
It's going to be a good time.
So get ready for that. You got to start preparing your body now.
Now.
See you next week.